anniversaries. There's one about dancing with a dinosaur, actually, if I recall, that was inspired by the fact that my two sons were very big Barney fans. A great picture of Will Franklin. I should get it blown up. I could sell the poster. There he is, in his Barney costume for Halloween. It was cute. Precious, I think was the word Mom used. And then my favorite of all of my dancing songs was a song that was inspired by my little girls, my two youngest, Maria and Stevie Joy, when they were about 3 years old. I was trying one night to get them in bed and give them a bath, do bath time, bedtime, and we kind of got a little bit of a late start, and I really needed them to hurry, and so I told them, we got to hurry and go fast tonight in the bath and in bedtime, which is like completely, a joke, because you don't tell 3-year-olds bath time's going to be fast, because bath time is clean time. But, and they were very committed to that, and I was very committed to getting them to bed quickly, so you can understand it didn't go too well. And they were having a lot of fun, and I wasn't having any fun at all. And they would escape me 2 or 3 times. They would escape when I was getting them undressed, and when I got them in the tub, they would even disappear out of the tub when I would turn my back. And they kept going in and putting on their Snow White, Cinderella, Disney princess. They got all of them. And so they would put the different ones on and kept telling me they had to go to a ball. And I said, no, you're going to bed. And he said, well, yeah, go to the ball. I said, no, you're going to bed. And finally, I got them in their pajamas, got them out of the tub. I've got work to do. I've got songs I got to go back to writing, and a big meeting coming up, so I'm kind of stressed out anyway. And they're just not getting it. I'm like, come on, girls, we got to hurry. And finally, they get them in their pajamas. Dad, read a bedtime story. Tell a bedtime story. So I told them a story. 2 little girls went to sleep. The end. There's the story. And then we prayed, because we always pray before we go to bed. But see, I figured something out, because this is number 5 and number 6 of our 6 children at this point. And I've learned that children know that Dad will not interrupt prayer. So that's their opportunity to extend bedtime even further, because they will pray for everybody that they can possibly think of that comes to mind, to just see how long they can go. And so I preempted that, because I was in a hurry, and I said, immediate family only tonight. Pray fast. Go. And so prayers, were said, and I said something really sweet and kind, like, I love you, I mean it, good night. And I slammed the door, and I was kind of stomping down the stairs, like, I gotta go to work, it's late, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, why can't they understand when Dad needs in a hurry, and they just, don't get it, and now I gotta go get spiritual and write songs about the love of God. And anyway, so I sat down, I started thinking about my daughter Emily, my oldest daughter, who at this time, she's 25 now, she's in Ireland with her husband Tanner and studying there, but she, at the time, was in college. And so I started to think about those nights when I used to tuck her in, and how sweet those little stories I made up, and how much fun we had. And I'm thinking, you know what, she's in college now. I don't get to tuck her in very much anymore. And bath time is definitely out of the question. And I started to feel really guilty about what I just did, because I realized I had just blown it. I just missed a moment that God gave me with my little girls. And so I wrote a song. I sat there and I thought, I need to remember this. And that's usually what I do to remember something, try to remember it, is write a song. So I wrote a song called Cinderella, about just, being there in these moments with my little girls and not missing it. And my daughters loved it immediately, because it had the word Cinderella in it, which made it, cool, and they loved it. And so when Maria went to be with Jesus, I didn't know what to do about this song. I was pretty sure, in fact I told my wife, I guess I just won't sing that song anymore, because it'll be too hard. But one of the many ways that God has shown himself to be a Redeemer, and please understand, with everything I say, it's so important, because if my wife was here, she would walk out on stage and say, you gotta know, I'm a mom, and I want to turn the hands of time back. I want my little girl back. That's what we want. But with that said, with this big hole in our hearts, God has redeemed so much. We've watched him take those terrible things and begin to bring beauty out of those ashes. And he has committed to do that. He has promised to do that. He will do that. And we've seen the signs of it already. And just one little tiny one is this song, because now it means twice as much to me. It still means what it meant before. In fact, it is even more important for me to realize moments matter. There's a reason God puts these little moments in our hands. It's like little diamonds. He puts them in our hands and says, all right, you get to choose how you're going to spend them. You can squander it, you can blow it, you can be frustrated, you can rush through, or you can realize these are gifts that I've given you, moments with each other. This moment tonight is a gift that God's given us, that He's entrusted to us. And so that's so important. It's so important how we use the time God gives us. But then secondly, now this song is a song of hope for me in a way it never was before, because here's the deal. If I believe anything I've ever sung, if I believe any of these songs that I've written over the years, then as hard as it is, as much pain and all of that as we've endured, the truth of it is God has promised that I will dance again with my Maria Sue, with my Cinderella. I'll see her again. That's not a fairy tale. It's not wishful thinking. It's not just crossing my fingers. It is the promise of God. It's the hope of the gospel. It's what it's about. It's not about getting it right this side of heaven and making it comfortable and getting as much stuff and all of that. It's the promise of God is the life that is to come, when He will wipe every tear from our eyes, when He will make everything new. He'll walk through this life with us, but He's leading us somewhere. We're not just hanging out here. He's leading us to eternity, to home with Him, to that place that we were made for, that we long for, that all creation is groaning for that day, when all will be well, and all will be made new. And that's what our hope is. May we not lose sight of that. And this song helps me every time I sing it. Now, remember that day's coming. I'm going to dance again with Cinderella, with my little girl, and you're invited. And all of us that are there, even the Southern Baptists, are going to dance. I promise. You're not going to be able to help it then, because it'll just be too good. And that is the heart of our God. And that is